Hi Leos, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tawana. Today we're doing a reading for you and we are starting out with diving for light. Okay, there we go. Can you see it? Yes, you can. So immediately starting this reading, whenever I get this card, I know that you are looking for light in a very, or what seems to be a very dark situation. It talks about having to dig deep to find the illumination point in a situation that you may be facing. It's a point where there's so many things that feel dark around you, and that could be coming up as fear, it could be coming up as anger, it could be coming up as a relationship ended, a loss of a job, whatever it is. But this card talks about having to really seek out the light because you can't seem to find why something is happening. You can't seem to find, it's that moment of things are so chaotic right now that I really have to dig deep to find the ray of light in this situation and find the hope in why this is happening to me, or why I had to experience this, or how this situation can get better. So you may be in a situation like that. I'm filming this on May 22nd, but the energy could hit you in June. It could be something that you have already been through. Different people are on different timelines in the collective at this point, so you will know as I keep describing the scenario. In the tarot, we have the High Priestess, and we also I hate that the cards are, but you know what, that may be for the best because YouTube is now blocking videos because of naked people on them, and the star card is a naked woman, so I'll just read the cards. Okay, so you're coming up as the High Priestess, and that's clarified by the star, which is so not your energy. It feels like you are very out of your energy, out of sorts. In some way, maybe something happened and you're trying to keep it private, you're trying to keep it hidden as you take time out to heal. I actually don't see you in your energy at all in this reading, but I just feel like this High Priestess is you. Some of you could be dealing with Pisces or Cancer, or you have that in your chart as well. Lots of Leo placements have Cancer placements, so this really could be you. But I feel like you may be going through something personally and keeping it to yourself, keeping it private, keeping it hidden, or somewhat shielding your energy because you're just not ready to disclose it yet. You're not ready to talk about it yet, and that's your right because it's your life. So as you go through this process of keeping something to yourself, you're pouring into you. You are, whatever healing looks like to you, you may be doing things like that. And while you're doing that, I feel like there's almost like this person or a person or even people who are prying into your process. I don't know if this situation relates to something you're going through in your home life or with family, because the Ten of Pentacles is here, but it feels like while you're going through this internal process of trying to find hope, trying to find the ray of light in a situation that is already difficult, it feels like you also have to deal with people prying into you handling your own situation as well, which this card also talks about. That it talks about diving for light, looking for the ray of light in a situation, but also knowing that you are in a very vulnerable place during that phase. It is being very aware that you're in a space of vulnerability already, so kind of shielding yourself and protecting yourself from anything extra, meaning like people's projections, people's criticism, when you're already in a difficult moment, and they may be reacting out of just concern or fear or whatever they're reacting out of. Not saying that they have terrible intentions, but in a situation where you are already challenged, criticism does not help you in any way, shape, or form in that area. So you're probably aware of that, and that's why you may be shielding your energy and keeping some things private and some things to yourself. It feels like you're dealing with this energy though, who's like trying to like pry and like find out what's going on, and maybe you're just not ready to talk about that yet. And also maybe in general not really ready to like be social, be with people, interact with people, because I do feel like we have the Temperance and the Three of Pentacles, which to me, it just feels like you're putting a pause on collaborating with people. You're putting a pause on mingling with others. You're putting a pause on working with others. Maybe people are concerned about you because they realize how reserved you are. So this is kind of your own internal process, and people recognizing that and may even be genuinely concerned about that and trying to find out more based on your behaviors. But it also requires you knowing what you're willing to disclose at this point, and just being very aware that this is a point where you need to protect your own energy as much as possible. Now, when I asked for advice from the angels, I got good cards. We got abundance, we got weight, and we got opportunity. So to me, this just means, do you know when you're about to make a really big quantum leap? I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced this, but whenever you're about to make a really big quantum leap and everything around you kind of crumbles, because you're like getting rid of all the old stuff to welcome in new stuff, I feel like that's a moment that you're having right now. These cards to me say there is an opportunity in all of this. There's an opportunity to perhaps make a better comeback, to perhaps elevate in some way. But there's a process that you have to go through, and that may involve grieving or that may involve healing, but you have to find the opportunity in all of this situation that you're going through. And this requires bravery, and of course it requires you embracing a particular perspective, which may not be the easiest thing to do, but I feel like that's what your angels are challenging you to do at this time. All right. So then we have the Inner Trust card, which this card just it just speaks to me, like her eyes, all of it, it's just such a strong card for me. And this is both for a masculine and a feminine, and I also do feel like it ties in with the Diving for Light card that we had earlier, because this card talks about embracing, like trusting yourself in the good times, in the bad times. You're going through tough moments, you're going through highs, you're going through lows. This card almost says like, you've done this before, many lifetimes before. Even if you don't feel like you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. So trust yourself, have faith in yourself. And it also talks about not holding yourself back just because you're going through a difficult moment. So after taking the time that you need to heal, of course, everybody needs to do that, to take that time. Don't hold yourself back excessively for too long out of fear, shame, guilt, whatever you may be feeling. Trust yourself and use that inner guidance to push yourself forward. Now we have the Devil, and we have the Four of Swords. So some of you guys could be reflecting on relationships and probably bonds that ended up toxic or ended up in some kind of unhealthy attachment. I know the Devil card is a lot of, like, people are always saying that the Devil card deals with toxicity, but a lot of times this is just behaviors that, it doesn't necessarily mean you're dealing with a toxic connection or a toxic person, but these are just unhealthy behaviors that may have been developed by you or someone else that you played a part in, because there are two people on this card. You may feel tied to a particular connection or to a particular person. Maybe you're dealing with a Capricorn, but this card talks about taking the time to heal from this and to examine the roles that you played in a situation and not allowing it to chain you any longer than it has already, or any longer than this healing process has to be. And I do feel like this is you. We have the Moon and the Nine of Swords, which I do feel like there's some kind of connection around you that you feel, or you're like deeply reflecting on. Maybe there are things that there are things about this connection that feel addictive, that feel like you can't necessarily let go of it so easily. And we have the Three of Swords, which is breaking your heart, and breaking your heart from starting anything new. And that doesn't mean a new relationship or a new bond. It could be blocking your creative energy from pursuing the things that make you feel alive, whether that's a creative project or whether that's a person or whether that is going out and just having excitement in your life again. It feels like something is blocking you off from that, causing you to hold yourself back. So when I asked for advice, it's so funny, when I asked for advice, the card that came out for the advice is Yang, which talks about doing. It talks about playing an active role. It actually talks about the masculine energy. And to me, this is saying, it's linking up well with this Ace of Wands, because Spirit is almost like your angels are like, you don't have to hold yourself back. You don't have to let this hold you back anymore than it already has. Once you've done the reflecting and the healing and all of that, don't let that hold you back from embracing life, whatever that looks like. If you want to go create some kind of new, because when we're in this Four of Swords energy for too long, it can look like us just, this could be like you staying at home excessively, you not wanting to be around others, you not wanting to connect with others, you not wanting to make any new connections because you feel like something like this is going to happen again. You're going to have an unhealthy connection to them, or you're just in a state of fear or analysis paralysis. So you just don't want to do or put yourself in a situation to feel this Three of Swords again. So you're holding yourself back, and Spirit's like, stop holding yourself back, Leos. Go out there and take a stab at life again, whatever that looks like. Find the things that make you feel alive and do them. The advice, the additional advice here is, if you believe, I hate that this card is being blurred out because I think it's so pretty. The extra advice here is, additional advice is, if you believe, and there we go. If you believe, and I feel like this card is just a big reminder to you that you are the architect of your reality. And if you believe that you're only going to get this Three of Swords, guess what? You're going to get this Three of Swords. But if you go through what you need to go through to purge this whatever this is, this feeling brought on by some kind of connection or some kind of bond or some unhealthy behaviors or whatever, and you truly believe that you can find whatever you're seeking to find, then that's what you're gonna get. So Spirit's like, now is the time for you to have inner trust and work on your belief. And then last thing we have, I kind of feel like this is about a connection because we have so many connection cards here. But it could be about something else. Sometimes the Devil card talks about career. The Ten of Pentacles can talk about a business. It can talk about a residence. It can talk about a lot of things. It can talk about an inheritance. So you guys let me know how this resonates in your own personal life. But for a lot of you, this will be about a connection. We have conscious connections here. And to me, when I pulled this card, I immediately got connections that teach you. It also talks about being transparent in connections and like how they evolve based on your willingness to be open, and how things can heal and how we can separate from them, because not every single conscious connection that comes into our life will be one that we take throughout the journey of life with us, but a lot of them will be here temporarily to teach us something. So this card talks about you probably feeling like you had a really strong connection with someone in your life, and also maybe life bringing you guys in, or situations bringing you guys in different directions, and possibly creating an opportunity to discuss that, or creating an opportunity to air out what you both feel so that you could see if the connection can survive or if it's best you both go your separate ways. So we have here the Queen of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. So you may be dealing with a Queen of Swords, or you are the Queen of Swords. I feel like this feminine energy is leaving a situation, or it feels like there's some kind of relationship disintegrating, or like a relationship ending, or there's some kind of closure that's coming between two people, because we have the Four of Wands and we also have the World. And the Four of Wands can talk about marriages, it can talk about partnerships, it can talk about your home life and you sharing a home with someone else. There are two people on this card and there are people celebrating them in the back. So this could be a relationship reaching its peak point and closing out that journey together as a couple, or it could mean that you're literally not able to live together anymore, whatever that means. But there's a union here that's closing out between an Emperor and a Queen of Swords. So to me, the Emperor here is carrying the Ten of Wands, which means this already felt probably like a burden of a situation and very stressful. And I do feel like whatever is going on is making this Emperor feel, it's making this Emperor feel like they have a lot to carry on their own. And this Queen of Swords is like, all right, I'm out. I'm leaving. I'm done. They may be leaving a situation. They may be leaving a home. They may be communicating that they're leaving. The advice here that I get is ask your angels and the situation will improve. So to me, you could interpret this on your own. Ask your angels, but connect with your angels, because I do feel like this will resonate in different ways for a lot of you. And the situation will improve does not necessarily mean to me that it will improve with this person, but it could mean that whoever you are in this dynamic, if you're the Emperor or the Queen of Swords, the situation will improve in terms of this moment, in terms of this difficult moment, and you probably having to find the lesson in all of this and find the light in all of this. That's what I feel like improves. So maybe you improve on your own individually, but I don't necessarily feel like this is in connection with this relationship, because the World card is here. The additional advice that I got was not for you. Not for you, and co-create. So to me, this feels like this situation may not have been for you, but that does not mean that you should stop co-creating with others. It does not mean that you should block yourself off. Again, this Three of Swords and the Ace of Wands, it doesn't mean you should hold yourself back. It doesn't mean you should block yourself off from connecting with other people, whatever that may mean for you, because there are other conscious connections that are probably out there looking for you right now. And that's probably what you need to have a conversation with your angels about. And just trusting that with or without this connection or this situation, that your life is going to improve regardless. So yeah, don't hold yourself back. This is what I have for you, Leos. I really hope that helped, and I will see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments if this resonated with anyone, and as always, thank you for watching.